Justice with Judge Mablean will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law. Where's your witness?
In the evidence.
That's hearsay.
It's notarized.
I still say it's hearsay.
She's fair.
You got to help these young men learn how to do this the right way.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's firm.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I don't need to say anything else.
She's honest.
I'm not your child and I'm not your friend. That's the order of the court. Goodbye.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean.
All rise. Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Mablean presiding. Both parties, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. I do.
Thank you, Will. You may be seated. And in the matter of Louise House versus Geraldine Perez, I understand you're suing her for $500. I believe it's for a medical bill that you incurred when you slipped and fell and hurt yourself?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
But that was on your own property, right?
So my neighbor has a tree in her yard. It's a Jacarand-Ah tree. It's very, very large. And when it blooms, it spills these petals completely all over my backyard. And I just redone it with this really nice Spanish-style tile and lots of plants and trees, made a whole oasis. But the petals themselves are very, very sticky, very slippery. They're covering my entire backyard. And so one day I walked out there, I took about 5 steps, and then I slipped, dropped everything I was carrying, and then broke my fibula.
And that cost, your medical bill was $500?
Yes. Insurance covered most of it, but $500 was for the cast.
Do you have some proof of that?
Yes, I do.
Now, your backyard has Spanish tile. Mm-hmm. How long have you lived in this property?
So I moved to the neighborhood just about a year ago, I would say, kind of late last fall.
Okay. And when did this slip and fall occur?
So this occurred in May.
Did you ever say anything to the neighbor about the leaves from the Jacaranda tree in your yard?
Yes, we had 2 conversations, and both times she was very unwilling to hear me out. The first time I talked to her, it was because the tree itself was just overshadowing quite a bit of my backyard, and I had just moved here from Michigan. I don't really know anyone here yet, so I just kind of wanted to create an oasis where I could just chill and have my own space.
So you talked to her about moving it or cutting it down?
Yeah, not moving it. I would never ask that. It's a beautiful tree, but just about trimming it a little bit, which you can do in the winter months, and she still completely refused. And then when it did bloom, we had another conversation. I brought her some muffins over, tried to be really nice and neighborly, and again, she all but slammed the door in my face and told me no.
Oh, wow.
No.
That's not very neighborly.
No, that's not how it happened.
Okay, so let me hear your version of the facts.
Well, she did come over. Mm-hmm. And
Which time? The first time or the second time?
The first time she came over.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time I was meeting her. She came up. She's holding the muffin. She's holding the glass of wine. She's, holding her phone. I opened the door, and she's like texting somebody. So I'm like, "Can I help you?" And then she starts saying, "Well, I need to cut down this tree. It's, going into her yard." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to be cutting down the tree because you only do this seasonally. So maybe in a few more months after it blooms, but I'm not paying to cut down any branches or anything from the tree because that alone costs $1,000.
When did she come over to your house?
So she came over early summer, then it blooms in late summer, but you can't trim it until after the bloom. So
And you can't trim it before the bloom?
After the bloom.
So I'm asking, you couldn't have trimmed it early summer before the bloom?
No, you could not trim it before that bloom. And she hadn't seen it bloom yet. This was her first request to ask me to cut it. And I explained the season and how it first has to bloom, you do it afterwards, but it's $1,000 just to trim it.
So apparently you hadn't trimmed it in maybe a couple of years?
Maybe. But nothing that you don't trim that kind of tree yearly anyways.
Why not?
Well, because it needs to, get its full bloom a few times a year. So if you were to prune it every year, it's not like roses. You don't trim it down like that. You let it grow.
Well, we're not saying prune it, but you can't cut the leaves that hang over in her yard?
No, I mean, there's not that many that are going over in her yard. So
I bet you either one of you bring me a picture of the tree.
Yeah, I brought one.
Let me see that, please.
So my house is on the right side, and then, of course, the tree is in the middle.
Is it the green one or the one with the purple?
The purple.
Okay.
So you can see it's definitely spilling over toward my house quite a bit. It's not a couple of branches, it's a noticeable amount.
Your house is to the right,
Yep, my house is on the right.
so her yard is fenced in.
Yes, my yard's completely fenced in, so you can tell that it's
I
just...
can't tell. You said you fell from the leaves in the backyard, so I don't have a picture of the backyard. I
and
just
it
have a
makes
picture of
me-
the front yard.
Right, were you on the side yard peering into my yard? I mean, why would you have been on the side of the house where the branches are anyways? But
It's the side of her house. She's supposed to not be on the side of her house if she wants to be.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mabeline.
How'd the whole thing happen? You already know.
first of all, I have evidence that she's drinking nightly, okay?
And
So you get a little sloppy and slippery when you drink.
how do you have evidence that she's drinking nightly?
And later,
The whole table was full of coffee and towels, and he let me know that he accidentally spilled my coffee all over my laptop.
Justice with Judge Mabeline. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mabeline. We're back with the case of Louise House, who is suing Geraldine Perez for negligence.
Did you ask a question why she was on the side of her house
Why was
anyway? I'm gonna answer that because she wanted to. And she can be on any side of her house if she wants
No,
to.
I'm pretty sure that's my whole fence going
So
that
what
way.
is your fence? She's in her yard.
Well, I think
I
what
can
is-
see where this went.
Well,
Why is she on the side of her house anyway? You sound like a fish. She could because I want to.
No, I already know how the whole thing happened. How'd
the whole thing happen? You already know.
First of all, I have evidence that she's drinking nightly, okay?
And
So you get a little sloppy and slippery when you drink.
how do you have evidence that she's drinking
Well,
nightly?
because I talked to my neighbor, Sarah. I have an affidavit from her. Can I give that to you, please?
Nope, because it's called hearsay. I don't even want to see it. It's called hearsay.
Okay.
Put it up there. Put it right there.
And to
So,
be fair, Sarah is her best friend.
I don't care if she's her guardian angel. It's hearsay.
But-
I don't want to hear it. So, and how does Sarah know she's drinking nightly?
because she's been going by her house, checking on her.
Okay, so that
'cause she
means
feels
Sarah's
so-
drinking nightly too, huh?
Sarah's walking her dog.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So she's the one who let me know that she's drinking nightly. Plus, I can hear her over the fence. She's playing her country music. I hear her on the phone sobbing to people how she's regretted moving out here. She doesn't like her job. So, you know, I can tell. I can tell what kind of person she is.
What kind of person is she? Tell
Just
me.
someone that gives you a bad vibe that you don't want to be around. That's going to be negative about a beautiful tree.
Because she just moved out here. She's missing her home in Michigan. She doesn't like your tree in her yard. She's a bad vibe.
She's a bad vibe.
And I can tell about a person like you that gives out vibes. I'm going to tell you what kind of vibes you give out.
Happy. Everyone comes to my
No,
house.
you give out I'm all of that in a bag of chips.
No. No, people love being around me. They really enjoy my company.
Really?
All the neighbors come over.
And how do you know people don't love being around her just because she doesn't love being around you?
No, I really think what happened here is has nothing to do with the tree. So
That's
she
what you
had
think.
some Spanish tile put on her back patio. Who put Spanish tile outside on their back patio?
Whoever
That's some
wants it.
slippery tile.
Whoever
okay?
wants it.
And also,
See, I told you, I can tell how you are. You're all of that. You're just judging everything she does. She drinks nightly. Why is she on the side of her house in the first place? Who put Spanish tile on the backyard? People do what they want to do with their property because they have the right to do that. And you don't have the right to judge or to decide whether it is, whether it should or shouldn't be, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. That's not your decision to make. That's her house.
and that's my tree.
Yeah, but your tree is encroaching on her property.
I don't see it that way. I see
How
maybe,
do you see it?
I see maybe a couple of leaves, you know, that way. But I mean, she was away.
But a couple of leaves, when that jacaranda blooms, it blooms with a lot of leaves. Am I right?
on my property.
Come on.
Now,
Now you trying to talk to me like I'm little JoJo.
now,
Now let's just be honest. I don't know much about trees and I don't know much about plants, but I know about that tree. And I know about how it blooms, and more importantly, I know about how the leaves fall, especially if the wind blows a little bit. And I know that because I happen to have one in my yard. Probably you think I shouldn't have one there.
Do they
but
fall daily? Do they fall daily? Do they fall down? Do they fall to the left?
Doesn't matter how often they fall. When they fall, and they fell in her yard, and she slipped on them.
Okay, so we have proof that she slipped on a leaf and not on her spilled glass of wine.
Were you there when the glass of wine spilled?
Well, I mean,
Do you have proof that she fell on her spilled glass of wine that night in question? Do you have proof?
No, but
answer my question. Do you have proof?
No, but do
so
we
it's
have
all
proof?
hearsay, speculation on your part that she fell on a spilled glass of wine, and you have no idea what she fell on.
Right.
But you do know that she asked you to cut that tree down.
Well, she didn't ask.
What'd she do?
That was a little more of a, well, I don't know if she recalls it. Do you recall asking?
I do. I asked I brought you muffins.
She just testified that she asked you to cut that tree down twice. She talked to you about the tree.
Right.
And
So-
you decided, I'm not cutting that tree down because you don't cut that tree down
Well,
before it blooms.
She could have given me the $1,000 to cut it.
I offered to pay
Okay,
half.
now-
I did offer to pay half.
Here's the law. When you have a yard, adjacent properties, and a tree falls into both yards, then you share the responsibility of keeping it trimmed. You share the responsibility. Some neighbors are neighborly like mine, and they'll do that. When their tree is all over in my yard, her green tree in the front, we share cutting it down. When my tree is in her yard, we share cutting it down. And that's the law. You have a right to your tree, you keep it. You think it's absolutely beautiful, that's good, and it is. But when you're a neighbor and you're sharing that tree and it goes into both yards, you both share the responsibility for cutting it down. So since you did not do that and did not offer to do that and didn't do it on your own, judgment for the plaintiff.
I can't
All
believe
rise.
Judge Mabeline has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $500.
this. Hopefully you'll start getting along with all the neighbors and kind of change your ways.
I think that'll happen when you stop talking bad about me.
Coming up,
I want to clear something up. I didn't say that I would replace a brand new laptop. I said that I would replace a laptop to the condition that his old one was in. His old one was old.
Justice with Judge Mabeline. You're watching Justice with Judge Mabeline.
The matter of Miguel Lopez versus Sean Green. Oh, this is the spillage on the laptop. And you want the laptop replaced to the tune of $2,000. Is that right, Mr. Lopez?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, tell me what happened.
So one morning we were at work, and Mr. Green was in the break room, and my laptop was nearby, and he was doing his thing while I was trying to prep up and set up the business before opening. And after a little while, 15 minutes into the actual, once the business was open, I went inside the break room to go see where Mr. Green was, and lo and behold, the whole table was full of coffee and towels. And I asked Mr. Green what happened, and he let me know that he accidentally spilled my coffee all over my laptop. And later on that evening, I went to go see if I could get it repaired because I couldn't turn it on or anything, and the techies let me know that the computer was completely destroyed. So the next morning, I came in and asked Mr. Green, is it okay if you could reimburse me for the laptop damage? And he did agree. He just offered me some printouts of a refurbished laptop that looked similar to mine, but it wasn't necessarily what I wanted. So I'm here today to sue for the amount that I had paid for at Best Buy.
What kind of laptop did you have?
I had a older version, 2012 MacBook Pro, and I just went ahead and went to Best Buy and purchased
The
a
latest?
new one. And I'm trying to sue today for that
For
amount.
$2,003.03.
Yes, Your Honor.
Whew.
Crazy.
Coming up,
The data alone was priceless, but I mean,
You can't get the data.
right.
And you just said it was priceless, so I can't put a price on it.
You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Miguel Lopez, who is suing Sean Green for property damage.
Okay, what do you have to say?
So I knocked over the coffee onto the computer, and I apologized profusely. I grabbed the towels. I tried to, clean everything up, but I guess to him it says it wasn't salvageable. So next day he hits me with the quote of $2,000 to the tune of $2,000. And I want to clear something up. I didn't say that I would replace a brand new laptop. I said that I would replace a laptop to the condition that his old one was in. His old one was old. Like,
How old was your laptop?
2012.
crazy old.
So you agreed to, you said I'll replace it, but you meant replace it with
A used one.
a similar one.
A similar one. He gave me the make and the model and the year. I did some research for a couple days. I got back to him with a computer that would, match. Now, the thing is, they don't sell 2012 computers anymore. So the one that he got would have gotten a updated year as well. So, but it was just old. It was a used one.
It was a MacBook Pro used.
Used
But
one.
later than the one he had.
Correct. Well, it was a later date. Correct.
A later
correct.
model than the one he had.
Yes, Judge.
All right. And you don't want the used one.
No, Your Honor.
Which is crazy.
Well, under the law, you're only entitled to get restored to what you already had. That's what you lost. You don't get an upgrade because of the damage. You get restored to where you were. That's what you're allowed to get. And if he could find a used MacBook Pro that was year, make, and model and everything except a year, so you got a older, since because of your year they don't even make anymore, then he's offered you restoration for the damages that he's done. So now you can take the cost of that MacBook Pro, the used one, and you can add your money to it and get a new one. What was the cost of the used one?
The used one was to the tune of $450, $500, something like that.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
All right. So you want that $500?
The data alone was priceless, but I mean,
You can't get the data.
right.
And you just said it was priceless, so I can't put a price on it.
True.
If it's priceless, right? You're not getting the data either on this $2,000 MacBook Pro. You're getting a MacBook Pro computer. You're not getting the data because, as you said, the data is priceless. And sometimes you can restore the data because if you're using a MacBook Pro, you should have had it backed up on something else, right?
Right. I had a little
So
bit
your
backed
data
up,
is
but
backed up.
I had some backed up, but not all of it.
Okay. Well, the order of the court is for you to pay him $500, and that's the order.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $500.
I feel like justice was served.
I'm happy with the.
You should be.
Yeah, I am.
You should be.
Glad you're both satisfied. You can gather your things and exit the back.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.